Google will be reporting earnings in about 2 days, July 25. That's after hours. And we're going to explain why we are a little concerned about Google stock going into earnings based on the data that we detected on July 21. That's the last trading day, Friday. So let's get right to it. These 110 strike calls for the August 18 we had detected. You see these here. On the put side as well, it was 15,000 of them. Okay. Also 15,000 on the call side too. Both sides. All right. So this was a synthetic trade. Okay. So this means that they were selling and buying one and the other. All right. And depending on which one they sold and bought tells you whether or not that's bullish or bearish. And one thing also to note is that because the open interest is greater than the 15,000, they could be closing trades. So that's why we are a little concerned about it. And that's because we need more data to confirm this with a higher probability that this was a trade that was opening or closing, because a closing one would be an opposite to their current sentiment of an opening trade, right? So our current analysis is telling us that this was a buying of the put side, okay, and then a selling on the call side, okay. And if you analyze this trade, you can see here that this synthetic is a short. Here's Google at 120. As the price goes down, the profit loss increases, right? And if the price goes up, then the profit and loss, the loss increases, right? You can see that here. Also the Greeks, a negative 99. So that's short, bearish with the negative. Okay, so this is of concern to us about Google, and that in a way where concern meaning that if you are long, then they are possibly going to be a loss after earnings. But if you're short, then maybe it'll be good for you, right? One thing to note about this is that if we were to pull a Fibonacci now, let's say from this low end to high end, you could see that we are bouncing from that 61.8% golden ratio level here, right? We're right here, and we ended the day right about here, the support level here. However, because we are also at a downtrend, if we see that the high here is 129.55 back on June 7, if you pull a Fibonacci towards the downside from the upper end here, and you go to the lower end here, because the trend is down currently, because we actually never made a higher high here. This was a lower high than this high. Then you could see that the Fibonacci level that we're actually at is at 38.2% golden ratio, which is right here, which is acting as a resistance level, which could possibly explain also why the price is now below that level, right? So that is another concern if you do wanted to take a look at Fibonacci levels in technical analysis, all right? But sometimes it gets confusing as to where you pull the Fibonacci. As you can see, if we had pulled it from this low end to this low end to high end here, then it may also look like a support level here, and that it was going to possibly go up too, right? So that's why we want to just look at the data with unusual options activity, analyze the data, because we're very data driven, and that's been giving us more accurate predictions on stock price movements. All right, and if you're interested, the last Google earnings that we did, that was back in about 3 months ago in April, this day, April 25. We also made a video on Google earnings that it would go down, and it did go down because it went down to, after earnings, it went down to about 103. All right, so take a look at that video if you want to learn how we analyze and predict stock prices even for earnings. Put a link at the end of this video so you can click that. If you're interested in other stocks to diversify your portfolio, we have a membership. You can join, click the join button on our channel homepage. This also helps profitability because diversifying your portfolio reduces risk and increases profitability. So we do that by analyzing other unusual options on other stocks as well, not just the ones that everybody is trading, like Google. The other stocks that are not as well known are a lot more accurate, and so our analysis is a lot more accurate in those stocks. So take a look at this April 25 Google video if you're interested, and look forward to updating everybody if there are any more unusual options. So make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon, and so you'll get notified whenever we detect more unusual options. Take care, everybody.